Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared. Hello. Welcome back to our birthday month. We're excited to be recording. Tonight, we are recording fresh from 2022. But before we get into that, Tawny, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a gigantic, well, it's just two Trulies in one. But it's a fruit punch. Jade was nice enough to grab this from the grocery store for me because we finally finished our gigantic huge bottle of vodka. So nice. Thank God. Vodka's just not my jam anymore, you know? Like I was like,
thank God we made it through this bottle of vodka.
Yeah, thank God it's gone. I'm like, we should see if we can get a Costco bourbon though, because this seems very cost effective. You know what I mean? Yeah,
the Costco bourbon is good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it is good. So definitely check that. I don't remember. You know how they say, oh, Grey Goose is made in the same factory as Kirkland vodka and all of that. I don't remember what the bourbon was, but it is good.
Okay, good to know. But yeah, that's me. What are you drinking?
What I am drinking is bourbon. And what I have here is Blanton's. Look how it doesn't have, it has like a lot of verbiage all over it, but it has a little horse on the top. I don't see a name. It's like, this bourbon whiskey dumped on 10/26/22, stored in a warehouse, individually selected from barrel number 3. I don't know what it's called. Blanton's. There we go.
That's it. Blanton's.
Maybe that's all it's called. And whiskey lovers are like, yeah, it's called Blanton's. All right. That's what it's called.
Like, you traitor. You thought you were one of us.
I'm sorry. I thought it would have a name. And for anybody looking at YouTube, I'm in my new space and I'm stoked. And here's like the most ridiculous thing. You can't tell, but on my bookshelf, I was like, oh, there's boxes all around me, but I'm going to place my Halloween Massacre, my like pagan book collection of pagan holidays, my new Hellbent book by Leigh Bardugo, which is the follow-up of The Ninth House, which I'm so freaking excited about. I pre-ordered it and got like a poster for it. I'm so excited. We're waiting for years for this follow-up to The Ninth House. But anyways, I organized it and was so stoked. Dude, you can't see it. My head is in front of it and all you see is my other desk and a bunch of stuff. So I'll have to fix up, what's behind me, but whatever. It's not a wall.
Yeah, exactly. There's stuff back there.
There's lots of stuff back there.
I know what you mean, though. I did the same fucking thing where I set up all this shit behind me and now my head just fucking covers it. And so I'm like, well, I got to fix that at some point. But I've ran out of steam. But I will say for Christmas, I got two new posters as gifts. I got a Two Chicks and a Horror Flick poster that somebody made for me. So that's going up.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's amazing.
No, it's awesome. Yeah, from Bryce, Jade's brother.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to put that up. And then Jade got me a Bad Omens poster. So I'm going to put that up back there too. It doesn't make any sense. It's music along with my horror movie wall. No, it makes perfect
sense. It's you.
You know what? Yeah. I'm just letting it flow, the wall. I'm just going to let it take shape on its own. I'm going to try to curate the way it looks. But if, a Bad Omens poster sneaks in there, fine. That's okay.
Yeah. I'm going to put my Hellbent poster up in there. Can I become friends with Jade's brother so he wants to buy me that present as well?
I'm sure he would do it. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
I know, it was very nice. He just printed it out real big. I mean, it's not huge, but sizable poster.
Yeah. No, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Looking at my background right now, And oh, my husband just told me tonight he got me a new webcam for my birthday. So waiting for that, and I won't look so blue. But I'm thinking maybe I should put posters here.
Oh, yeah. On the sidewall?
Instead, yeah, maybe that would look, you'd see them more, than all this other stuff.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I'm excited. Yeah. You can see more things, Yeah.
How is being in the new house?
It is the most magnificent feeling. We all have been talking about it. We're all calm. It's so quiet. It's a beautiful house. There's room for everything. My husband seems more calm. Titi has never spent a moment in her bedroom. So for those of you who don't know, and don't judge me, I don't care. Titi always sleeps with me or Steve, usually. Either on the sofa or in my bed. It's been a whole thing. And in the old house, we had like master bedroom and living room were up in the front, and the kids' bedrooms were back down a hallway. And she would just never go in there. Last night, she slept in her new bed.
Oh my God.
No issues. She literally was excited to sleep in her new bed, slept through the night, no issues, played in her bedroom the entire day today. This is like a dream.
Yeah.
So everyone, my middle teen is building out her room. And then my oldest comes home the beginning of February. And we're just feeling great. The only one who's not feeling great is Rizzo's very stressed out.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for her. I got her a brand new bed, a brand new blanket, everything, so that she can like kind of settle in. I'll look for her and find her literally by the front door, looking at me like, when are we leaving?
This isn't home. Yeah. When are we going home?
Exactly. Aww. So she'll settle in. It's nice. We have a beautiful backyard. So thank you for asking. We are very, very happy. The energy here feels really good.
Yeah. So you're saying it's definitely not haunted.
Definitely not. I thought of that the other night, actually. I was lying in bed and we have like a balcony off of our bedroom.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to give you a tour one day. And we have a balcony off of our bedroom. And so they have blackout curtains. And so it makes the room like pitch black. And I was laying there and I thought, is this house haunted? I wonder. And then I said, no, I have not felt that even once. It's so calm and so peaceful because Amityville horror filled my head. Like, you live in this new home and then the shit fucking goes awry. No. And if there are any ghosts in here, I am your friend. We can make peace.
Chill.
We're chill. We could share the space. So we could have you on the podcast, It's all good.
Yeah. You're welcome to stay even, as long as you're nice.
Exactly. Let's share the space.
They don't want to stay, probably. They want to move on. I don't know. That's just what movies tell us. You got to help them. You got to figure out. You got to do research, go to the library, figure out what happens.
I can do all of that for you.
I will.
I will do all of that for you. You don't need to make the walls bleed. I don't need a lot of flies.
Right.
Like literally just show up in a dream and say, hey, I need this help, Felicia. Boom. Done. We'll do it.
I'm there.
Yeah. Easy. Easy. Oh man. What have you been up to? What have you been watching, reading? Any new life events?
Shit, I've been up to way less than you have. The major life update for me is that I got an air fryer, okay?
We have an air fryer and love it. Do you love it?
Yeah, I do. I really feel like it has like kicked up our cooking game to the next level. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, there's so many things you can make in this. So that's very fun. I feel like I've achieved a new level in cooking, not just because of the air fryer, but just because I finally hit this point where I can kind of freestyle on recipes, Ooh. Like I can kind of look at stuff and put it together and be like, oh, if I want to, like I'm going to try to make like a green chili potato soup this week at some point. And I'm like, I don't know how to make any of this shit. I've never made like a green chili, but I'm like looking up recipes just to see like what flavors go in it. And I think it'll be good. We made like chicken shawarma last night and it was fucking delish, okay, with some like turmeric rice. And then what else did we make this week?
Sounds so good.
God. Yeah, so I just feel like I've achieved a new level of cooking, which is good because we also are like, my best friend's wedding is in May. We have another wedding in December, one of Jade's best friends. And we're going to have to move at the end of April, maybe. We don't know exactly, but we're, of course, looking for houses. So there's like, we're trying to save some money and not get crazy because we have all this stuff to pay for. And so I'm like, we need to stop eating out. That's where all of our money goes. All of our extra income goes to just like restaurants, Uber
Us
Eats.
Too. It's ridiculous how much money we spend on that.
Oh, it's so bad. So we're really trying to like buckle down and commit to eating or cooking and eating at home. And so it's gotten better. So I'm stoked about that. That's my major life update. I have some other things that I've watched, but also your ass went on a fucking cruise. So tell me about that.
Oh, shit. We went on a cruise.
I know it's been so long since we've talked.
Yeah, it has. We had a blast. It was, I will say, for anybody out there who has motion sickness, I am wildly motion sickness person. For example, I was doing episode research today while we were driving to a furniture store. So I was trying to maximize every moment of my day. And I could only do it for about 3 minutes and I'd start to feel nauseous. So if any of you were like that, I was nervous about the cruise. And I can say when I first got on there, you do feel the movement, but it's not intense. If you're outside, you don't feel it at all. It's weird because you'll look over the boat and you'll see it's moving and it's weird. But when you're inside, you tend to feel it a little bit more. We did have rocky waters because of the storms that were happening in California.
Okay. Oh,
and so
yeah.
It doesn't feel like you're being tossed, of course, but you definitely feel like you go to the side and then you go to the other side. So for those of you who get motion sickness, it did not derail my time. There were like moments of, ooh, okay. I had some Dramamine. I had a lot of Dramamine. I should post pictures. I bought every kind of Dramamine. So I took like non-drowsy Dramamine a couple of times, but other than that, it was fine. When they're docked, it's absolutely like you're on land. Totally.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay.
So we saw shows. You literally could walk up to any place and get a drink or get any kind of food you want. It was so cool. It was raining the first couple of days, but I'll tell you this, parents will appreciate this. So we get on the cruise, it's raining and it's wicked cold. I have like a parka, me and Steve. TT wants to get into the pool.
Right.
And I'm looking around going, I don't mind. The pool's heated, by the way. I don't mind, but I don't want to look like that parent sucks ass. Then this family comes rushing out and the kids jump in the pool. I'm like, get your bathing suit on.
Go
TT.
ahead.
We're going for it. And so it was a blast. Everyone had fun.
Okay.
I had that massage just because I talked about it on the show. Okay. I think that is what made me feel sick the most.
Really?
She rubbed me down hard.
Oh, no.
Hard. To the point
I remember you saying that you were like sore. Yeah.
It was amazing while she was doing it. But the next day, like Steve, just, when you're walking and your partner puts their hand on your back, just like gently, I would flinch. I was like, you literally can't touch me. And so I felt ill and migraine-y for that the second day. And I was thinking, oh, it's motion sickness. But then I took not a bunch, but I took some Advil to relieve the pain. And then I didn't feel sick. So I really do think the headache and everything was from my massage.
Oh, no. Did you drink enough water? Maybe you were like dehydrated and you're like, I probably
didn't even drink enough water. Yeah, because but anyway, overall, here's the learning lessons. Go on the cruise. It's awesome. I'm going to get the patch that goes behind the ears so you don't even need to think about it next time. Don't get a massage until maybe your last day, or just get a relaxing massage, no deep tissue. And then you're good to go.
Yeah, or maybe in the middle, settle in for a couple days, then do it.
Yeah. No deep tissue on the boat, just relaxing.
Okay.
Yeah. just in case you get bruised and migraine-y. Oh my gosh. So yeah.
Tell me what's new in what you've seen, listened to.
I'm finishing The Hunger. I'm going to be posting a book review on The Hunger. In a nutshell, it's really good. It's just, it takes too long to pick up for me, but I'll post more on that. I'm really trying to get through the end. I only have a little bit left, but I'm going to do it. I have been overly absorbing day and night everything about the Idaho murders, the college students. So I've been watching a lot of that. But what I do, like Dateline, 2020, just absorbing a lot. But what I do want to call out, because she blows my mind. It's a new, I don't think she has a podcast, but she has a YouTube channel. It's called 10 to Life. And she does a true crime channel. She is amazing. This, oh shoot, I totally forgot her name, but it's called 10 to Life. She dives so deep. She does such exceptional research. I just want to call her out because I think, like, for the example, that podcast, My Favorite Murder, I think those ladies are great and they're great at storytelling. This woman dives into the details. She gives like her opinion, but phrases it, this is my opinion. I could be wrong. She welcomes all the other possibilities. I can't even believe the amount of different news clips and information that she puts within her video. It blows my mind. And then she's creating other videos. And then there's an update on this case. And she'll create another video for the update on this case. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Go check out 10 to Life. She's amazing. She's very, very active on Instagram and TikTok as well and gives updates on those. Blows my mind. So that was like the main thing I wanted to call out because I think she just does a phenomenal job. I just watched The Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker on Netflix. Not what I was expecting. I didn't remember the story. Really interesting. I thought it was well done. Of course, it's Netflix, so it was well done. And yeah, that's it. My biggest call out would be 10 to Life. That was phenomenal.
I also watched The Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker.
Nice.
And I have like a lot of fucking thoughts. So I'll try not to get too deep into them. But I was like, this is fucking fucked. For like not the reason that normal true crime documentaries are fucked. You know, normally you watch and you're like, oh, this person killed some people in their shitbag and that's fuck you. You get what's coming to you. You go to jail. That was like not my experience for this at all. Like this was like, oh my, I felt like it was more of an expose on like the exploitation of people by the news and by media and TV. And I was a little bit like, I don't know. I haven't actually done any research. So take the rest of this and take that documentary with a grain of salt, all of it. But just in short, I saw a video of this woman who was talking about like this documentary doesn't share all of the information about this case. And there's like all this extra stuff that paints him, the hatchet wielding hitchhiker, in not as bad of a light. Like, it's not like this guy was just like a fucking crazed serial killer. It's not like he just like randomly decided. There were like probably reasons why he did what he did and how they like, there was like kind of a cover up, not necessarily by the police, but by other people. And I just was like, this is so, Jade and I both watched it and we were just like, this is wild in just a different ass way. Like, I was like, and what the fuck did all these people expect? You know, this person is not predictable. He's an unpredictable person, of fucking course. So it goes from like, these people think it's like, haha, funny. And then it was like, yeah, this guy's fucking unpredictable. No shit. I don't know. It just was like, it was an experience. This series. It was a movie, right?
Yeah, it was a series. Yeah, I think that was the only one. I absolutely agree. It left me feeling like, I'm not going to say anything, but at the end, Exactly. It looked like, oh, there's this guy and they totally exploited him and oh, he's going to be great. Now he's unpredictable. But no, he was really, bad, let's say. But I don't know if I agree with that based on, with not giving anything away, what his story was.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of trauma there. And I don't think it was that cut and dry. I agree with you.
Yeah, it was really interesting for that reason. But yeah, if you've seen it, we're trying really hard not to spoil it in case you want to watch it. But let's fucking talk about it. We got a true crime section in our Discord server if you want to come talk to us about it.
Good plug.
Thanks. Sorry. Okay. So but you were done.
I was done. I do want to say I just remembered her name from 10 to Life. Her name is Annie Elise. Because that's what her Instagram is actually Annie Elise. But phenomenal. Annie Elise, you're phenomenal. Would love to have you on the podcast and we could do a movie that is based on a true crime.
Oh my God, that would be dope.
It would be dope. I'm going to tag her. You better believe it. I know she's probably busy, really busy, but whatever.
For me, other things that I watched, God, I watched a lot. And so I'm just going to do some highlights. The Last of Us, obviously, watched the pilot last week and super excited to watch. We're recording this on a Sunday. I think I'm going to keep trying to talk Jane into watching it after this. And I'm fucking stoked. I played the game a little bit. I didn't play all of the game. So I know kind of what happens in the beginning, but I don't know what happens at the end. And so I'm I get to kind of experience both sides where it's I know what this was like in the beginning. And they are doing a really good job, at least from what I remember. This was years ago. Shot for shot of the video game experience,
What are you watching this on?
HBO.
I have not seen it. I should see this. Look at how excited you are.
It's so good, dude. And I know we're in for it. I know this show is going to be good. Just
I'm listening. I'm typing a note to myself to watch that.
No, it's going to be, the cast is already spectacular. The video game story is amazing. I wanted so bad to finish playing it because of the story and because people would not stop fucking talking about it. When it came out, the game. And so I have it. I didn't like the play style. I really kind of sucked at the game, to be honest. So it was hard to play. And I could not keep going through it. Because you're supposed to be able to sneak, and I cannot sneak. And so every time I'd have to fight my way out, and it was just a fucking nightmare. Anyway, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It just wasn't I got so frustrated. But what's his name? Pedro Pascal is amazing as the main guy, Joel. Bella Ramsey as Ellie, amazing. Just so good. I'm so excited for this. This is going to be I feel like this is going to be a big TV event, people are gonna, I already saw that it surpassed, I think, House of the Dragon for the season premiere numbers, so it's gonna be incredible. I'm excited to experience this with everybody. Maybe we'll start a channel for that, I don't know.
Nice.
But I think that's about it as far as my highlights. I did start The White Lotus, but I started season 2 because everybody's fucking talking about it. But also, I'm seeing a lot of people say that it's really slow. So my friends told me to start with season 2, which is what I've done. So I've watched an episode and a half, and it's kind of it's interesting, but it's not I don't know. I'm going to keep watching it. The jury's out on that.
Yeah, I haven't even finished season 1 of The White Lotus yet.
My friends were you can even start with 2 and then just go back to 1 if you like it. So that's what I've done. So
okay,
we'll see.
I hear 2 is better than 1.
Yeah. But that's about it for me, because now we're 20 minutes in.
That's okay. That's okay.
We got to start this discussion.
Let's start this discussion. All right. We're watching Fresh from 2022. It is a Hulu. Is it a Hulu original? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, released on Hulu for sure. The director is Mimi Cave, and this is her directorial debut. She has done Vessel and I'm Happy, I Promise, which were both shorts, but this is her directorial debut. The writer was Lauren Kahn, and she really wanted to write a story that, because she is fascinated with horror and likes horror, but wanted to create something that both horror lovers would like and non-horror lovers may watch.
Okay.
All right. Our amazing cast, already hinting at what I thought about that acting, is Daisy Edgar Jones as Noah, Sebastian Stan as Steve, Jonica T. Gibbs as Molly, Deo Akani, and I'm sorry if I'm sure I mispronounced that, as Paul, Andrea Bang as Penny, Charlotte Laban as Anne, and William Ballou as Man. Stats. The budget was $20 million. It actually said 15 to 20 million. I couldn't find a box office, probably because it was released on Hulu. So I wasn't sure actually how to find that information. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 82%. IMDb gave it a 6.7 out of 10. And Letterboxd gave it a 3.5 out of 5. All right.
3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd?
Yeah, that's what that... I don't know why my voice, I went, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it came out that way either. I did take that from when, you know how when you Google the movie and it has the stats right on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
But let me just look at Letterboxd itself.
Let's just fact check this.
Just to make sure. Yeah, it has 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, shocked. I'm shocked by that.
All the reviews I look at, some of the reviews I'm looking at look really good. Even the one that's only 3 stars was like, I really liked this. It was entertaining. All right, well, shit. That's one of those people that's like, I never give A's.
Right, yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to sip my whiskey, and Tawny's going to give us our 2 minutes with Tawny.
I am, because I did it. I remembered this time. Okay, so here we go. Turn back now if you don't want this spoiled for you. Noah is looking for love on dating apps without much success. She happens to meet a charming guy at the grocery store, Steve. They go on a few dates and hit it off, so he suggests that they go on a weekend trip together, the location being a surprise. Molly, Noah's best friend, doesn't love this idea and is weary of Steve since he has no social media and she hasn't even seen a picture of him. Steve takes Noah to his house before they head out the next morning. They have a drink and Noah passes out. When she wakes up, she is chained to the floor in a cell-like room. Steve very calmly explains that he's not going to kill her, at least anytime soon. He will, however, be selling her meat, hair, and other belongings to a group of very wealthy people. Noah realizes she's not alone and begins talking to Penny, who's in the room next to hers. After a while, she tries to take a shower and tries to escape, but Steve overpowers her and cuts off her ass as a punishment. Molly is tipped off that something is wrong almost immediately and begins trying to find Noah, which leads her to Steve's other real house and wife. He captures her as well, and Noah pretends to be curious about eating human meat to gain Steve's trust. Eventually, he trusts her enough to uncuff her and have sex with her again. She bites his dick, shoves toothpaste in his eyes, and frees the others. How do you write that? You know, I just said I'm doing it, but we don't know if she bit it off. We don't know.
Yeah, there was one point, I believe, when all the girls were out and one of them said half dick.
Yeah. Half bites his dick off? We don't know. We don't know the details, okay? Yes. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Okay. They kick the shit out of him and run out of the house, but they still can't find any cell service. He wakes up and chases them with a gun, which they end up using to shoot him in the head to finally kill him. At this point, his wife Anne has shown up to the house and gets into a scuffle with Noah. Molly kills her with a shovel, and the movie ends with a text from one of Noah's failed dates saying, "You up?" The end.
Oh my gosh. All right. Tawny, I would love to hear how you felt about this movie.
Okay, I'm going first. I really, really like this movie a lot. I might even love this movie. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to say that, but holy shit, this is a good movie. And I slept on it, dude. Like, it came out at the beginning of last year, and I didn't watch it until December. Like, I don't know. It just was under the radar for me. But oh my God, so much of this is so good. I actually feel like this is the best example of somebody complying. We talk about this all the time in movies. Seeing someone comply just long enough for them to get out of the situation instead of like fighting back or being obstinate, at least outright. I think this is the best example of that I've seen, hands down. The acting, amazing. I love the story. I love the way the story unfolds, because I love stories that kind of start small and then they like unfold and show you more and more of this world. And I think they did that masterfully. Just amazing. It's a really great movie. I do have a couple problems with it that we can get into. Like, I just wish they had done a couple things differently. Like, I think some of the movie's a little too on the nose, and I feel like some of the acting like wasn't there, not from the main characters, but from the tertiary characters, I guess. So overall, this was like just a phenomenal movie. I've watched it 3 times now, and I made Jade watch it today because I was like, you know what? You're going to hate this experience, but at the end, you're going to be like, that was a fucking great movie, and I'm glad that I watched it. So I'm making you do this. So he did like it a lot. He was like, that was a really great movie. But yeah, that's how I felt. How did you feel?
All right. So I fucking love this movie. Okay. So when I first watched it, I thought, I really like this movie. And then upon rewatch, I loved it, which makes sense because when I watched it the first time, I remember it was in December at some point. Everyone was asleep and I was sitting on the sofa, still feeling awake, and put it on. Yeah. So I was kind of tired watching it, but when it was over, I was like, oh, that was a good movie. But rewatching it, alert and awake and absorbed into it, I fucking love it. The acting is just out of this world. So good. The decisions are absolutely believable.
I love them. Okay, keep going.
The music is so good. I love the music. Good. I love the sound. I love the cinematography, the way the different things are shot. And on the second watch, hearing little hints that you wouldn't really pick up because you don't know what's happening the first time. Just a phenomenal movie. And I was sitting there watching it. And when I was done, because I was watching it on my laptop the second time and Steve was sitting next to me, I want him to watch it as well. I think he'll really, really appreciate this movie because he seems to like dark comedy, the horror comedy movies the most. I know he'll love this, but I was watching it myself as I was doing stuff around the house. And at the end of it, I just said, that is a good fucking movie. And he goes, oh yeah? And I'm like, yeah, this is such a good fucking movie. I love this movie. It is excellent. Great job, Mimi. Your directorial debut. Are you kidding me? I want to see more from you. This was so fantastic.
You know, the other thing as a directorial debut that I think is really hard to nail is like the tone all the way through. And somehow, tonally, this movie fucking works for me. And I don't like when shit kind of switches tones, you know, and I think it does that a couple times, but it does it really well. And so like, that is just amazing. The way that it goes from like very dark to kind of like a dark comedy. Like you're saying, we have these moments of like funny shit happening, but you're like, God, this is awful. And then him like dancing around the house, you know, to the like 80s music. You're like, what the fuck is happening? But I loved it. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you loved it too.
Yes. And casting wise, are you kidding me? Everyone is fantastic. And Sebastian Stan, yes, please. I was like, this guy is yummy and fantastic in every single fucking way. I would have fell for that shit. You want to take me away? Yes.
Kidding? Yeah.
I still might like you after you take my ass. I
Dude,
don't know.
literally. I also was like, listen, this is some, I'm about to admit some shit, okay? Because this is fucked up, but it is the truth. This guy is so attractive in like the weirdest, darkest, like, like you're like, what is happening to me? And when he like has her down in the basement, at some point he like grabs her face and he's like, but you're gonna be a good girl. And I was like, oh my God.
Yes, I will.
I'll
be your good girl.
I don't know what has just happened to me, but I have Stockholm syndrome, you know? Like I was like, I mean, at this point, why not? You know? Why not
here?
stay there? Oh,
Could be worse, right? I mean,
yeah.
you're my
that's
captor?
True. Yeah.
All right.
You know?
I mean, I don't want you cutting off my body parts.
Obviously.
That's the thing. But, you know.
But hey.
Hey, it's you. I literally wrote in all caps, he is so likable in every way. He is handsome, he is charming, he is funny. And even like, he's so good. I should have, for the Stabby Awards, I should have nominated him for something.
I was going to. I just felt like it was too late. Like by the time I had watched Fresh, I think it was beyond when we said we were going to do it. But yes, this guy would take it. He would take, I mean, just the acting is so next level. It's I think I would have given him first place. This is just like amazing acting. I'm sorry, keep going.
No, I agree with you. Maybe I would have given him that actor, the best actor, whatever the category was, spot, because he's so consistent. He's truly, thoroughly him. It's not unbelievable at any point. He is so likable. You absolutely would go away with him. I don't know. It would be so hard to pretend that you liked him even after he, took a little bit of your meat.
Right.
He's just so great. And even how you can tell he has moments of that he likes her and maybe he's really hoping for that connection. Like he would love to be able to have someone share in this passion with him that he's, sexually, physically, emotionally, what am I trying to say? Too much whiskey. No, I'm just kidding. Emotionally connected with.
Yeah.
And they also like the same thing as him. God, he just plays that so well, but also very confident in, I like you, but this is what I do and I make a lot of money off of it.
Right.
Dude, he's so good.
Oh, he was such a good bad guy. Like just amazing. And Jade was like, at some point in the beginning, he goes, is this the bad guy? And I was like, yeah. Well, I didn't say yeah. I was like, maybe, because I got to no spoilers. I was all, maybe, I don't know. I can't tell you. And he's like, because he's doing a really good job. But then you see as the conversation goes on, he's like, did you tell anyone about me? And she's like, yeah, I told my best friend Molly. Oh, what did you say about me? But I love how he so quickly transitions back into a normal person question, which is, tell me about Molly. Tell me about your best friend. Of course, that's so that's so just get to know you and your friends. It's so innocuous. It was just so fucking well done. I just loved it.
I have notes on that too. It was brilliant. It wasn't awkward in any moment. Any of us would have just fell right into it. He was, like you said, have you told anyone about me? It's almost like, how much does she like me, right? I only told my friend Molly. Okay, tell me about Molly. I think me and Molly would get along, and you explain about Molly. Just all these little pieces. He's so great. Even when they were together, the first date, he was just yummy. I would be saying, I think I found the one after this.
Yeah.
He was so fantastic. And then she said, can I get you something to eat or drink? And he goes, no, just you. Okay. That is so clever because you think when you're watching this for the first time, like, oh my God, you would jump his bones. I'm sorry. But knowing later, he probably did just want her sexually, but also he wants to be eating her and not the way that women like to be eaten. Right? So it was just fantastic. I loved it.
Oh my God. I just can't even think of a better portrayal like this. Like, this was just amazing. 10 out of 10. Agree.
Ooh, to backtrack just a little bit, when they first meet in the grocery store, I love this. I was really watching it the second time, absorbed into everything that was going on around her. And when he approached her and she's buying all those vegetables and stuff, immediately I thought she must look like a really good pick because she's like grass-fed organic meat. Because she was like,
oh my God,
buying all the veggies. I think she also, when she opened her fridge before she went to the store, she had like almond milk. It wasn't dairy. Now, I know she eats the short ribs, but there were a lot of instances where she didn't like have dairy inside of her fridge. She was shopping for vegetables. There were some other things she was shopping for that were more healthy. And I thought, look at her organic grass-fed meat. And I guess there was also, I didn't catch this, I don't know if you did, but when Noah and Steve first meet in the supermarket, a large sign in the background is shown above Noah and it says fresh meat.
I cannot take credit for this. I did not pick up on this. But when I recorded that episode with We Love Horror and the Killing Time podcast for We Love Horror, so if you want to listen to it, that's where you'll go.
Yes.
Aubrey from Killing Time did mention this. And it was before I had seen the movie. So I was like looking for it. So I can't take credit, but I was like, damn, that's fucking genius.
So genius. Because I didn't see that. I just saw it in the notes.
Dude, I was like, that's what I thought you were going to say. And so then when you said that about like the grass-fed, that blew my mind, dude. Because yes, that's perfect. Like, that's totally true.
There was lots of moments like that on the second watch that I was thinking. So for example, when she is in, and I haven't read anything about this. This is just what struck me when I was watching it. He really puts them up in a nice, I mean, his house is beautiful. The room they're in is nice. And he feeds them good food and he gives them alcohol. He gives them magazines. Like, he treats them really good. Then it reminded me of, but she's still terrified, right? She's still a prisoner.
Yeah.
It reminded me of, oh, this meat from cows, let's say cows example, this meat, oh, they get to eat in pastures, they're grass-fed, they're free-roaming chickens versus ones that are in slaughterhouses.
Yeah.
How that mimicked it. She would be like she's not really free roaming, but she's very well taken care of versus maybe a prisoner from Otis or something like that, or Hostel, right? So that just struck me when I don't know if there is anything to that, but the correlation between meat and cows and chickens and all of that and these women that he's captured.
I bet. I mean, he says later in the movie, you know, fear and stress is bad for the meat. Don't try to, try to relax. Fear and stress is bad for the meat.
Which they have said that's the same for cows and,
livestock.
Livestock. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot on the second watch that I picked up on when he's like, I don't eat animals. And
yes.
when he's asking her about, tell me about your family. And she's like, oh, I don't have any family, basically. And that like makes her such a good mark. She has no one checking up on her. And also the other thing that I picked up on is Molly says right in the beginning, she makes a joke about him having a wife. Like, oh, watch, he'll have a wife. And so there were all these like nuggets that I just did not see until the second watch.
So fantastic. Even in the very opening, I wrote a note here that the first guy, that date she went on, it was played so well. Like, he was realistically obnoxious. It wasn't over the top. I thought it wasn't over the top. He was, I thought he delivered his lines and about how, women these days, they all wear oversized stuff, and his roommate and stuff like that. I thought he played it realistically, but maybe not. You don't think so, maybe?
Yeah, you're seeing my face. And
I'm seeing your face. And
I'm like, I don't know. This is where I think one of the moments that I think it might be a little bit too on the nose for me. Like, I wish it, I feel like this one is okay if you take away the other ones that I'll mention probably later as we get to them. Or maybe I should just hit them now.
Yeah, let's hit them now.
Okay, this one I feel like alone isn't terrible. Like, I could have dealt with it, but I wish it had been a little more subtle. Just because I don't like when it's really, like, on the nose. You know, that's the best way I can come up with it, or the best word I can come up with for it.
Do you mean it like, and I can see this, where it was like, not only is he saying, oh, you need to be more feminine, which is, you know, something, but also, you know, let's split the bill, and I'm going to take this food from my roommate, and I love my silk scarf. It's like all of the different things that would make someone irritating.
I think it's like specific things for me, because like not all of those things irritated me. Him taking the leftovers I thought was like a good, funny, subtle thing. But like when he points out, like, he's like, you know, and she's like, what? And he's like, I just think that like the women of our parents' generation cared about how they looked. I feel like it was like too on the nose in terms of like, and maybe I'm wrong because I have not dated in 11 years, 11 plus years. So I have no fucking idea what it's like out there. Maybe people say this kind of fucking out of pocket shit on a date because that would be crazy. But you just think, you know, most people know not to say things like that because it's like very rude, you know? And like him interacting with the server where he's being so fucking rude to her.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, again, like, I don't know what it's like to be on the receiving end of that, so I can't speak to it, but it just felt like it was like this guy became a caricature of a bad date rather
that makes
than
sense.
Yeah, like just a person who's like shitty to be on a date with, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. But again, his stuff like but there were a handful of these, right? It was way later in the movie when Molly is killing the woman and she's like, I asked you for help. Bitches like you are the fucking problem. You know, like that's pretty on the nose. And then at the very, very end, when she gets the text back from him and it's like, number one, his name is Chad. And two, the text is you up, which is code for like, I'm trying to have you come be a booty call. I don't know. Like, I felt like these things were just a little bit too specific. I felt like it could have been backed off because like we got it. I think as the audience, we got it. We don't need him to be named Chad. We get that this guy is like a stand-in for all douchebags. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might think of more examples as we go, but those were the ones off the top of my head.
No, I really like that perception of it. I didn't even think of his name being Chad or anything about that. I saw these as the two specifically that you mentioned, where Molly says, this is to the woman, bitches like you are the problem, and then Chad you up. I saw it as that dark humor. It made me laugh when she was like, I knew what they were saying, but since it was so in your face and so on the nose, I thought it was like, it was funny. And then you up after all of this, but I didn't make the connection with Chad. I don't even think I saw his name. I just saw like the message. And I was like, oh my God, out of all of this and date, she's never going to date again. And this guy, he has no idea what she went through. And he's like, hey, you want a booty call? And she's just, after everything she went through. So I didn't see it in that way. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
But that's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, it's a good point. I think you're right. I think it was supposed to be, on the nose. I just didn't take it that way.
No, I think you're right though. Like that is kind of the comedy of it, is that it is on the nose. And so maybe that's okay. Like I tend to not, we talk about this all the time. I'm not really like I prefer things to be like really scary and real and realistic. And so maybe that's my problem with it, is I just like things that feel a little bit less in your face, but that is the comedy of it. So that's a very fair point.
All right. 1 point for Felicia. I'm just kidding. I really liked how Steve, it's so smooth as silk, how he delivers these manipulations. God, he's so good. One of the things I wrote here is when he said, do you notice any interesting flavors in that drink that he made. And so she gets her to drink more. God, it was seamless. I didn't pick that up on the first time, but the second time, knowing what happens, it's just like, notice any interesting flavors. So she mentions a few and he's like, nope, makes you drink more so that you taste it. God, that was so good.
So good. And everything up until that point, right? He's like, oh, the traffic's going to be really bad, so we should stay at my house and then we'll go tomorrow. She's like, oh, do you have Wi-Fi at your house? He's like, oh yeah, it's this and that. And she's like, oh, I don't see it. Oh, it must be out. Like it's all these like redirects. It's this very, like you said it earlier, he's so like charismatic that you don't think anything is up, because it's just like, even in the car when he's like, oh, fuck it, I can't like keep it a secret anymore. We're going to Cottage Grove. That was such a good moment to be like, oh, this guy isn't a bad guy. He's not trying to like get me somewhere. There's a moment of, oh, everything's fine.
Yes. That internet thing you mentioned. Yeah. Because he was making drinks and she's like, I still can't get it. And he's like, oh, it must be out again. So I am going to make you a drink with lots of cherries, because if you think about it, realistically, like if you're at my house and everything's normal and you're like, I can't get Wi-Fi, I'm like, oh, it must be out again. I would continue doing the thing, because
of course
it's not a big deal. It's not like,
and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he made it like it was realistic. He didn't make a big deal about it. It was very natural and very realistic.
And I also love how all the way up until she passes out, this was such a good choice, because I feel like in scenes like this a lot, we get people being like, oh, you must be feeling funny because I drugged you. There's like this moment of exposition or explanation where the person has to be like, oh, let me just tell you what I've done. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't. At all the way up until she's out cold, he's still pretending like everything is fine. And that like unnerved me in a way that I'm just, you never see that portrayed on screen. I just feel like so many choices were so good and fresh, Yes.
How fresh. Nice. How about when he actually took her ass?
Yeah.
Like I didn't think that he was actually in the movie going to be removing her, a part of her. So I thought she was going to somehow thwart it, get away, or something, right? Get out of that happening to her. Nope. No. She ridiculously, well, not ridiculous. Okay, so I take that back. Not ridiculously. You would be panicked and maybe you would think you would have a chance to like, I don't know, overpower this guy and run out. If you're out of the thing, I get it. If you're out of your cell, you're going to try. Yeah. Even though to us as watchers, she has no chance. Then he takes her and he actually does remove her butt. And I was like, oh my God, it just happened. He's literally selling her meat. I thought she would get away. I thought she'd get out of it. Nope.
Yeah, or at least like, the movie would go on so long that he wouldn't have a chance. Yeah, no.
Something. Nope. Her butt's gone.
It was a good attempt in the way that I felt like it was realistic. She wasn't able to do much, but what I like about this is that she fucking learned. That bitch was like, that was not it. Yeah. And so I am going to have to play the long con,
Yes.
I was like.
And she did it so well. I didn't think it was unrealistic. Her reactions either, how she was talking with him, how she was eating the food, eating the food, which was human meat when they were having dinner together. You could tell she was struggling and trying to hide it. It was really well done.
Yes. Yeah, but she did I was like, get this bitch an Oscar in the movie. Like.
And she's from Where the Crawdads Sing. I haven't seen her in anything else. I don't know if she is in anything else, but.
I don't think so either, but yes, I feel like she did really good in that too. She's a really good actress.
She is.
But this was like next level. I was just like, I even feel like as the audience, in some moments, you're like, is she having Stockholm Syndrome? You're kind of like, that she wants to get out because they continue to show us that she's surveying the area. She's like kind of making plans. But you're kind of like, I don't know. Like, is she is she not? Is she falling for him despite all like what's going on? And I feel like it's such a good like push and pull all throughout the movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I also thought I had this note here. So the first time I saw it, I thought he was going to feed her friend. So I thought that that's what he was going to do. But then he didn't. Now on second watch, he did. I didn't realize it, but they were eating the breast meat. And then when Molly was her name, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, Molly was beating him up. She grasps her breast. And
Yeah.
I didn't pick that up the second time because so much was happening in this very awesome beat the shit out of each other scene that I didn't notice her grab her breast. I wasn't paying attention. And so in my notes on the second watch, I went, oh my God, he did. He fed her friend.
Oh, so fucked up.
Oh my God.
I didn't even pick it up until this third watch, and Jade was the person who was like, I think he fed her friend's breast meat. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't even pick up on it. Oh my God, that's fucking terrifying.
For me, the breast meat was the most disgusting of all the meat she ate because, first of all, it looked disgusting.
Yeah.
And I don't even think of breast meat being good because it is mostly fatty.
Mostly
right?
fatty.
And it just doesn't seem like, and the way it looked and they were eating it, it was making me so sick.
Me too. The other scene, the first scene with the meatball, for some reason, didn't bother me like at all even. I was like, that looks just like a normal ass meatball. I don't know. I was like, they're talking about it, but I'm like, if it didn't taste funny, you'd just be like, okay, sure. But I agree. The fatty, I'm not a fan of fatty meat to begin with. Me neither. Okay. So
and it looked like, brain-like. It looked like...
Oh, yeah, it was like gray.
It was nasty looking.
Yeah, no.
I loved how it showed him after his run, and he had like some type of a body part, and he shaved a super thin piece. It almost looked like prosciutto or something, and then he just eats it. It's like such a trip because that's what it looks like. But it's somebody's body.
Oh, there's like, tattoo on it, so
yes.
It's so fucked up.
I think the one person that threw me a little bit out of the story was Penny.
Fucking same. Yeah.
Yeah. The conversations with Penny, I realize she's been there for a very long time and lots of but it's just her tone.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. That was something that I didn't like.
Me too. That was one of my big things that I have. I wish it sounded almost like a voice actor as like an NPC for a video game. It was so over the top and it was just too fucking much, dude. I was like, I hate this. And it made me think, the first time I watched it, I thought, this is someone acting like another captive, because it's so over the top that you would never talk like this, you know? And even when they like get her, the thing that's weird to me is when they finally get her out of the cell, I don't think it's as bad. Like, she doesn't seem as weird. And I don't know if it's because now as a viewer, I can see her and so I can connect a face with a voice, or if it's just that they directed her differently, like when they had her on screen versus when she was just doing like the VO parts, the voiceover parts. But like these voiceover parts were killing me, dude. I was like, what kind of like nonsensical, and especially you put him next to such amazing actors as the people playing Steve and Noah, it just felt so out of place. I hated it.
Yeah, I hated it too. And I wonder if, just like you were mentioning, if Penny, the actress who played Penny, and Andrea Bang, was able to actually feel more like the character, having to be the character with one leg and be with these women and like, you know what I mean? Like you're able to embody the character more versus I'm sure with the voiceover, she's just standing in like a sound booth with a microphone.
Yeah.
And so that would be harder because I totally agree. You would be loopy. And then when they said, Melissa, are you still here? She's like, hey, Melissa. I get they're there for a long time. I think you would really have to just mind fuck yourself if you were this character, if you were this actor in this character doing a voiceover. I know in it's just a studio, you know, dressed in your normal clothes, you know, with a microphone.
Yeah.
And just really try to get in your head about what would it be like. You don't know what day it is. Don't know how long you've been there. You've lost your leg, your who knows what other parts of your body because you've been there for so long. So you might be a little crazy, but I don't think you would sound flippant. And I don't think you would sound like chill and then like, hey, Melissa, are you there? And then Melissa, what does she start singing or something?
Yeah.
Like you would absolutely be fucking crazy, but you would be terrified. You would be, I don't know. I just think it would be different.
I agree.
It threw me.
Flippant is such a good word because even the like little chuckles and laughs that she throws in, it just feels like so put on, you know? I had a major problem with this. And then I felt like, did they do this on purpose to be a misdirect so that you think that there's not another captive? Like, that's weird. I don't think so.
I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, what an extra thing to add to this story. I don't know.
When the wife says, when she finds her husband dead, when she finds Steve dead, let's get his body on ice.
Yeah.
So she's going to take over this operation. Well, she was going to take over this operation. Right?
I don't know, dude. Okay. Here's where I have some questions.
Yes. Let's go back to the wife. Yeah, because if someone's listening and they don't care about it being spoiled, we find that the wife was actually one of his victims that she won him over and ended up being his wife and having 2 of his kids.
Must have. Like we don't get any information about like what this is, but that's the assumption that you make as a viewer is like she must have been a victim that then transitioned to this.
So because she takes a shower for everybody. She takes a shower and she has no leg. So
Right. And she also seems to be having some sort of crisis. Like
Stockholm syndrome with this guy. He not only is he hot and charming, he's rich.
Yes. They have a nice fucking house. Okay.
Real nice.
But you see a moment with her like holding her face in the mirror where I don't know. You don't really know what's going on with her. There's no explanation. But you're kind of like, this is weird. We don't know. But we think that maybe she took the same route as like a past Noah, where he took a liking to her and kept her around. And then she became a part of this community. Right? Yeah. And we don't know a ton about this community, but we get like tiny little glimpses, right? And what I really like about this movie is how they're really just like layered in, but you definitely get that there's like some kind of cult, right? There is a cult at the center of this, and they are the ones who are consuming and like facilitating this whole operation, right? Mm-hmm. They never say anything about it. I love that. There is a little bit of exposition where he says, yes, there is a group of people who will pay me for this, and they pay top dollar. They're the top 1% of the 1%, whatever. But aside from that, we see like a lot of imagery that they don't need to like explain to us. And that's what tells us it's a cult. So also for the Stabbies, I put this as my most deserving of a sequel. Yes, now that I'm looking at it, I should have put Sebastian Stan in as outstanding performance, but I didn't. But I think that this movie really lays the groundwork for a sequel because they never explain any of that. And there's like so much probably happening outside of this tiny little, microcosm of it that we've seen that I would love to explore and see more of. And so that brings me back to Anne saying, get his body on ice, right? I wondered if there wasn't some kind of like other shit at play here. You know, like maybe it's kind of supernatural. Maybe they have like special powers once they consume human meat or something. Because he says, when I first ate it for the first time, I felt, I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, I love the way it made me feel. And when Noah puts it in her mouth for the first time, we get kind of a quick montage of like the other people eating it and some of the cult imagery and stuff. And it's like, I don't know if that was just what she thought. I don't know if the movie intended for us to just, you know, see her thoughts. And it's like, this is who I think is consuming this meat. Or if it is sort of like she kind of taps into this, you know, whatever is happening by consuming humans, you access some other kind of something. I don't know. And then this also brings me back to the weird moment where she's standing in the mirror, his wife, and she's like pulling her face back. I started to think on this third rewatch, there's just something else happening here, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that he made her look different because he is a cosmetic surgeon, or if she used to look different and there's some kind of like, I don't know, supernatural thing happening. Is this crazy? Is this a crazy fucking theory?
No,
but that's why I thought she said, put his body on ice. Because I was like, are they going to fucking revive his ass? Like, through fucking cult magic, dude? Like, that would be fucking wild.
Okay. Phenomenal thinking. First things first, I also nominated this most deserving of a sequel or prequel. Right? Yeah. A sequel, but it could be a prequel. I want to know more. He mentions that he first tried it when he was 16. I want that story. I want the story of him when he was growing up. What were these urges? Was his dad a part of it or his mom? Like, how did he know? I want that story. I want the story when he was in his, whenever he was maybe 20s, 30s, starting this thing. How did he get into it? I want all of that. I want all these people, all these people that are ordering me. You know what's really scary is this is real. I mean, I don't know that this is real. It could be. Like, there was this whole documentary about this former cop. And probably if you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what the show was called or what it was about. But he was interested in killing someone and eating their flesh. And what the show was about yes, if you can be tried for a criminal act for your thinking, no action. Because he actually met with one of his best friends, arranged, and he was typing these other people that wanted to cannibalize people too and saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So is intent enough to have you convicted? So that whole thing. So probably a lot of you have seen that. And so
I forgot the name of that, but I know I saw it. I just never watched it because I couldn't bring myself to, but I was like, this looks so fucking interesting. Yeah.
So there's a whole community of people that want to do this. And there's people that obviously that we know have been caught that have, done it. And so this is not unrealistic. I think the top 1%, they traffic people and I don't know, poor top 1%, maybe not. They're just fucking doing crazy shit up there. And this is so realistic. It's so fucking realistic and terrifying. And I went off the rails. So anyways, yes, I also nominated this, and so did Erica from Horror Cafe podcast for the Stabbies. Also nominated this as best deserving of a sequel.
Yeah, there's just so much there that I feel like they really laid the groundwork for in a really, really great way that doesn't take away from your experience of watching the first movie. But like, I could totally do more. I want to know so much more. I want to see more. I want to know what's going on.
Yes.
I want to know what the fuck is up with his like wife now. Like, how did she go from being a victim to an active participant in this? Like, that whole situation is so interesting to me. Yeah, it's
the devil.
Yeah, because there's like
symbolism
Satan
in
imagery.
the Satan symbol, imagery within the plate that the people are eating off of. Obviously, we have people. Sorry, I hit my microphone. Obviously, we have people from like all walks of life. You have like a Texan, it looks like someone who's into BDSM. You know, like all different types of people eating this meat and buying this meat. Wealthy people. Now, this thing that you mentioned about them becoming a part of it, I really am interested in that. I didn't think that. I thought that maybe for his story, either he had these cannibalistic urges or maybe his parents were a part of this society of cannibals, and that's how he was introduced. That's how the first time he had a taste for it and he liked it. So that made me curious. But for her, now that you mention it, because I wondered why as well, she like, it could just be like when you are so overwhelmed, you know, you kind of drop your head in your hands and like squeeze your face, or you see that, like people don't know what I'm doing. They just hear me making noises, but like press down back on your head or whatever. But she does. I did notice it on the second one. I'm like, is there something like, I thought for a second, is she gonna, when I first watched it, like remove her mask, or it is very significant. So now that you say that, I tend to, having come from like the makeup artistry world, notice if makeup is really bad or hair. And for her specifically, her hair looked fake. So when she was grabbing her face, I thought she was going to remove a wig, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
And so now that you say that, I wonder, has she gone through cosmetic surgery? Because obviously she's missing, right?
Yeah. I mean, she must be.
Or not. And her friends or family or whoever used to know her is like, oh, you don't have a leg now and you're married to a rich doctor. I don't know. I never thought of that. That's very curious because she does, I don't know, her hair looks fake. I'm sorry if it's not. It does. And she
it was
that
weird
thing.
It was
right?
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he is a cosmetic surgeon.
Yes, he is. And he talks about that. So maybe. And her, I just want to know more. Was it to stay alive and then you just got this like Stockholm syndrome type of thing? Or were you actually intrigued by it? Or, like, tell us more.
There's so much there because she does seem like sad and not happy with the situation. But even in the end, once he's dead, she like will not, because then she approaches Noah and she's like, oh my God, thank God he's dead. It's over. I thought I'd never get out. And you're like, oh, fuck, maybe this bitch does see her way out finally, you know? No, because then she tries to kill Noah.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
So
why wouldn't you just get out? I don't know.
One thing about her too, was she sad or stressed because she was worried he was forming an attachment to someone other than her? That's another aspect of it, because, and what is he going to do with her? So there's so many ways you could go. What is he going to do with her if he's over her? Just divorce her, or no, because she knows too much?
No
is
fucking,
he gonna
no
kill her?
Fucking way.
Right. So is she stressed because she can't keep the charade going on? She won't be able to if he chooses someone else, he's going to kill her. So she's worried for her life. But then on the other hand, she comes and goes as she pleases. He's gone half the time cutting up people. Like she can literally go to the police at any moment. And she's not. So what is the thing here? Is she and then when she goes and she sees that there's 2 wine glasses, it was so quick. She goes into the home and there's blood everywhere, flashes super fast to 2 wine glasses, and she takes a breath.
Oh, goes shit. And sees didn't even pick up on this.
Yeah, goes and sees her phone is locked with his wedding ring in a different box. So is that really her motivation? Either he's cheating on her, fuck that girl, or, oh, I can't do this because if he has found someone to replace me, he'll kill me.
Yeah. True. And maybe also this is supporting my theory of them being able to bring him back after he is dead. why would she care then? She could just get out, but she doesn't.
So
she
that
tries
makes
to kill
it
her.
seem like she's fully integrated. If it isn't that they can resurrect him, which would be like, what the fuck is happening? I want to know about all of this. If it is just like she's now going to take over because he's like, yes, ma'am, and she's going to clean up the situation and sell his meat, then maybe she's just like fully integrated in this. Yeah. I'm sorry, my mind is going through it and like not wanting Noah to replace her. So it's not that he'll kill her, but more like, I don't even know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I feel like there are a lot of directions it could go.
But, and do you agree? Hopefully you agree. Maybe you don't. I don't want to put pressure on you. But all of these unanswered questions make it exciting versus your experience with Don't Worry, Darling, where you felt, and we won't mention anything about that in case you haven't seen the episode, but just in general, that you felt like you wanted these answers. Where here, it makes it kind of exciting, like, tell me more.
Yeah, and I think the reason, because I was thinking that too. I probably sound like a fucking hypocrite because I'm like, oh, I want to know so much more. Whereas like last time I was like, give me all of it in the movie. But I think the difference for me personally is that this movie did a really good job of being like, this movie is about Noah and Steve and their relationship. And then we get like kind of these like little tiny things, you know, like breadcrumbed in. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to know so much more about all that. So I agree. Like, I do feel that excitement of like, they just cracked the door open, you know? And I'm like, oh, shit, I want to know more. I don't know. But I had problems with that movie, and so maybe I'm just biased.
No. I want to thank director Mimi Cave because she presented a movie assuming that we were smart viewers and we were going to catch things. Yeah. She did not lay it all out. Oh, just in case you missed that, let me explain it. The one example I have, there's many examples, but one that's top of mind is Molly's phone. Yeah. It's not a big deal. Her phone is not a big deal. It's not made to be a big deal in the movie. We see Molly researching on the internet, you know, at her desk at work, trying to find like, who is this guy? Where's my friend? I haven't heard from her. And there's a shot of her computer mouse because she's using the mouse. Right by the mouse is her phone. And there's a very interesting phone case. Like it's very artistic, very striking, but it's very fast. They don't linger, look at the phone case. It's like, I didn't even notice it, honestly. The first time I watched the movie, I wondered how Noah knew her. I mean, they did show the phone case, but I didn't remember the phone case. So the second time around, it was so fast. They were showing the mouse and the phone was by it. And then we go to the giant picture and the picture opens and it has all the different victims and like their pictures and different memorabilia. And then over to the far left are all the different cell phones and there's that case. So I knew the first watch that she recognized that to be Molly's case, but I didn't remember it to be Molly's case. Yeah. So the second watch I saw, it was quick and it wasn't spelt out. It wasn't like Molly. There was up close of her in her freaking phone case 60 times throughout the movie. The director, Mimi Cave, was like, I showed it to you in this quick minute. Yeah. I trust that you're going to pick up on that. And I love that.
There's another scene when she's in the bathroom talking to her and she picks up her phone and you see it in the shot and then she puts it to her ear. That's what I picked up on this third rewatch. I didn't even pick
up on that.
Yeah, it happens like this. And even other moments that are more in your face. Like there's a shot where the camera actually looks at him putting the keys in his pocket and it like, you know, tilts from that to his face. And I was like, I fucking missed this on the first couple things. I thought it was her looking at his outfit. I thought that's what they were like intending, but it's not. It's that she's noticing he's keeping those keys to all the rooms in the house in his pocket at all times. So later, when she's keeping track of everything, you know, she knows when she's not cuffed. She knows where the keys are. She knows how to get in and out of things. Like, she catalogs all of this information in her brain, which I think is so fucking smart. She makes really smart decisions. And I just was like, so same thing. I picked up on that way after. Like, that was just kind of a throwaway shot, but I got it that third time. And I was like, oh my God. Yes.
I never even saw that. Yeah, I didn't see the keys thing. That's because I wondered when she was unlocking, like, it was so fast. Like, how did she get those keys? Oh, that's so brilliant. And
I bet
that's
there's
the
more.
thing. It's not over explaining. It's not like, hey, by the way, here are the keys. You have to recognize it while you're watching it. And the director plans on us being smart viewers instead of spoon feeding us the info. Because I hate that when they do that.
So much, I also think, is told in this movie through just emoting. Very subtle changes in facial expressions, very subtle. And my favorite one in this whole movie that I felt like was just such a good scene is when they're communicating over text and it's him pretending to be Noah. And she's like, love you. And then she writes back just a heart emoji. And it cuts back to her face and she just gives like a little, like, she squints her eyes. It's so subtle. But you could tell in that moment, she's like, no. That's not Noah. And I know. And so that's what tips her off. And she goes, I'm going to research this photo. She sees within like 30 seconds. She goes, because they know, they've shown us in the movie 2 or 3 times at that point that when they stop talking to each other, they go, love you more, bye.
Yeah.
Right?
Both of them do that. Holy shit. See, I didn't even catch on the heart emoji.
Yeah.
But you're right. She says, love you more. That's what they do.
Yeah, so when she just sends back a heart, she goes, like, there's just this face. And then she Googles that picture. She finds that it was ripped from a website. And then she immediately texts her back and she says, call me back. It's an emergency. And from that point forward, he never texts her back, I don't think, as Noah. Yeah. And so she goes looking for her. And it's so, like, I just felt like that was so good. And on top of all that, I loved the relationship between those two, the best friends. I felt like that was so, it felt really natural to me and good. But I was just like, fuck yeah, this bitch. She knows.
I agree. I'm taking applications now. I'm just kidding. I want, maybe Tawny. Tawny is maybe my Molly. I want that friend. Yes. She is fucking balls to the wall. And I feel like, if you're my friend, with all my true crime terror in the back of my mind, I would be the same way. She is so fantastic. Wonderful. Their relationship is just so great. It's not, I would think that these two actors had been friends for life. It's so natural. It's so fun. And she just really looks after her. And to me, it's realistic. Maybe because I'm so paranoid with true crime and I would respond the same way. So I really resonate with Molly and how she responded to her friend. I just think that this was a beautiful relationship and it was so much fun.
Agreed.
And it makes so much sense when Noah has an opportunity to get away, she doesn't. She goes back down because sometimes, not that you wouldn't want to save other victims, but maybe it makes more sense if you get away and then alert the authorities to the other victims versus going back downstairs and getting trapped again, right? But her best friend is down there and she feels kind of almost as at fault because she didn't listen to her best friend and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, it's her best friend. So she goes back down there and not any part of me thought, why are you going back down there? Get out of the house. Not any part of me. Versus like when we were talking about Dawn of the Dead, about the one person going and everyone going after her. And I was like, come on. With this one, I was like, oh yeah, you've got to go rescue your friend.
Agreed. Of course you would do this. And can we talk about this scene, this end part? I saw some people online complaining and saying that it was they didn't make good decisions. They made a bunch of terrible decisions. I don't fucking think so. Mm-hmm. I feel like, first of all, Noah, like I said, has been mentally cataloging all of this information. She knows the layout of the house. She knows, like, where weapons are. She grabbed hid the keys. She grabbed toothpaste to shove in his eyes. She had a fucking plan. And then she was like, I'm going to lock your ass in so I can go down and get the friends. I also think it's good to have more people on your side, so you're not just fucking battling this dude 1v1 potentially if he grabs you before you're able to get out, right? And then they send Penny up in the, like, dumbwaiter, and that, like, takes him by surprise, kind of. Like, he expects someone to be there, but he doesn't expect her to kick him down.
And then Molly to come around the side, yeah.
Yeah, and so I feel like they did a really good job of, like, taking his ass down at that point. It's a struggle. And I also don't think it's unrealistic because all of these people have had medical procedures done to them. Penny doesn't have a leg. Molly's missing probably her breasts, and Noah's missing her ass. Like, they're not in great shape, dude. No. Yeah, like, they're probably in pain. They can't, like, move around like they normally would. Shit's crazy. And they're fighting this guy who's, like, in peak physical condition because he's out here fucking running every day.
Yes!
Of course it would be difficult. But I think they do a fucking good job. I love that she takes that, meat hammer. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, the
tenderizer.
The meat tenderizer, or the pounder to make it meat thinner.
Yeah.
She whacks him I was going to say this. She whacks him in the face multiple times. I'm sorry. If I whacked someone in the face multiple times with that thing, and I have one of those things, by the way, you break into my house, so I'm going to be whacking. But I would assume if he fell over and was out, I would assume that he was out.
Me too.
If he got up again, that would have fucking surprised me. So I don't think it's unrealistic.
I don't either. I really don't think it was that crazy. And I get that, you do want to finish him off, but these people aren't fucking murderers, And I do think that, like, I've come around on this. I think the more I think about it, the more you in this situation would just want to get away. You're not really, like, aiming to kill. You just want to incapacitate and fucking get out of there. But I would also have thought, that guy's dead, and if he's not dead, he has severe brain damage. He is not waking up in the next, like, 10 minutes to chase after me.
Exactly.
So I was also like, he is done for, dude. And so for them to run out, I didn't think that was crazy.
I didn't either. Because if you think about it, the first thing that comes to my mind is that, for some reason, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And there's a scene where someone shoots and then drops the gun. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
Okay, this is fucking ridiculous. And all of us are like, hold on to the gun, first of all. Like, keep shooting or whatever. She whacks him. She whacks him multiple times. He's out cold.
Yeah.
She's in pain. She just had surgery. I'm, like, grasping my chest. Like, she just literally the night before, or very closely, the pain you would be in. He's out. You would not think he's going to wake up. This is very realistic. Let's go. Let's just get out now and run as far as we can. It's not like they had machine guns and they're dropping the guns by the body.
Totally. Yeah.
It's a meat tenderizer.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then they don't know that everybody else is in on this situation, right? Molly is maybe the only one that might know that his wife was in on it because she hit her over the head, but they don't have a chance to talk. They don't have a chance for her to tell her that situation. So I feel like it's totally believable that they just fucking run off into the night. The one decision I will say I didn't like is when Noah goes back for her phone. Who gives a fuck about the phone, bitch? Just leave it out in the wilderness. No one has service anyway. Like, the first priority is just getting anywhere where you can get in front of people. So I don't, like, there was no reason for them to think that there was a problem once they killed him, right? They didn't think anybody else was coming. But at the same time, who gives a shit about the phone? Just leave it, dude. What are you going to do?
I 100% agree. And I'm glad you mentioned this, because on the second watch, I also wondered if I missed something, because she said, I don't have service. And I thought, oh shit, did Noah at one point connect to Wi-Fi? Because this was the thing. He's like, it'll be better once we get to my house. So I thought I missed her connecting to his Wi-Fi, because then that would make sense if she said, you guys don't have service, but mine's connected to his Wi-Fi. I'm going to go back to get my phone, because it was so quick. She was like, okay, I need to go get my phone because hers was connected, but she was drugged before. So I don't think it was.
You know what, though? Now that you've said that, I do think you're right, because he used probably her phone to connect to the internet, because he was communicating with Molly. So I think it was. And then at the very, very end, we get that text from Chad, you up, you know?
But she doesn't know he was communicating to Molly, though.
Right.
So that supports your thing with her going back, because she doesn't know that unless at some point she grabbed her phone and saw it, but I didn't see that.
This also kind of got confusing for me too, because I thought, like, at the first time I saw it, like, once everybody was dead, I was like, oh, all of a sudden she has service now? I was like, that's weird. Why would we choose to do this? You know, this feels like a weird shoehorned in thing just to get this you up joke in.
Yeah.
And I didn't love that. Again, it was like,
but she would have service to what you're saying, because he's been texting from her phone.
Yeah, you're saying, like, you can't kind of have both. Like, how would she have known that?
She did.
But you know, now that we're saying this, we're just working this out live.
We're working it out, guys. I have like a Venn diagram behind me on my whiteboard.
She did have the phone in her hand when he saw her. And so maybe she did realize that she had service, because that's how he shoots at her.
Yeah, because the light from her phone. Yeah. Yes.
So, okay, this is it. This is another one of those that maybe they didn't need to tell us. We just saw it. Yeah.
Because she was looking at her phone, the light. Okay, I'll take it.
I'm down. Me too. I'm down with this explanation.
Me too. Yeah. I didn't want another thing that was make me going, what? So I'll take it. All right.
Yes.
So that made her go, I need to go get my phone. Because if you did know that your phone did have connection and did have service, and you thought, you're out here alone, he's dead, you shot him in the head, which, by the way, amazing effects. Dude, so good. So good. All the body parts being shot, like everything. Him with his eyes swollen, his penis is gone. He's like, oh, he's like, oh my God, this guy, fuck. I want to rewind time and go back to the stabbies. But anyways, amazing guy, amazing actor. You would, I think, thinking that the threat is gone, you know your phone has service. Oh, fuck, I got to go back and get my phone. That is realistic.
I could have used just a tad of, just a teeny tiny bit of exposition there. I think that's one of those moments that maybe we could have used a little, because her friends don't fucking know that. You know, like, she could have been like, I think my phone has service. I have to go get it. That's it. Yeah. That's all we need. You know, like.
Or what about this? When she's behind the tree, right before he sees the light, or maybe he sees the light, her phone, just a screenshot of maybe her clicking 911 or something that shows service, because we know she realizes there's service and she can call for help. It's just something, even if it's just the bars at the top that show the little Wi-Fi thingamajigger, something quickly.
I feel like my problem is just not explaining to the friends, you know, like, why she's like, I have to go get my phone. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, it's back there. I dropped it. Why wouldn't you say?
You're right. Your friend would be like, I would be. If you're like, you, Tawny, we're like, I gotta go get my phone. I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? We'll get you a new fucking phone. We gotta go.
Leave it,
I would say that. I know I would. Just leave it. And you would have to go, no, my phone has service. That does make more sense. Yes.
Or even, I think my phone has service. I saw it light up. You know, you don't even need to explain all that, but you could just say to your friend, I think I have service. I have to go get the phone, you know? Like,
yeah, if you were to turn to me and say, my phone has service. Okay, because we don't know where we are. We're out in the middle of nowhere. All right, Tawny, go ahead and get your phone. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're nitpicking, right? Like, it's
so good.
It's great.
It's so great. I absolutely love it. I love how when the wife is coming up, oh my God, we're free, right? And no one knows it's not right because she rescued everybody. Like, who are you? Yeah. I know the only other girl is dead because I ate her, but now who are you? And there's this moment, she doesn't fully believe her, and then she starts to choke her. God, it's just so, so fantastic. And what do you think about there's some credits and then there's like the meat and the blood and it's going to all of the people who supposedly bought the meat. What do you think that meant? Like, it's over for you? I mean, technically, the police would be able to go. So the police would go there. They would see everything. There's a whole fucking refrigerator of body parts. The guy, Steve, must have on his laptop or somewhere the addresses. Maybe not. He at least has the man. That's how he's credited, as man. The one who comes to pick up the meat. He must at least have his contact information. Something. So is that meaning like they're all fucked? I hope so, because it's gross.
I don't know. And actually, I think that this is what makes me think that they could do a sequel really easily. We leave this movie in a very weird place, like very weird timing. They never get back to Penny to see her. These three people are just left out in the middle of like a forest behind this guy's house. And Steve and his wife are not the only ones. There is that driver that's still rolling around somewhere. Like,
yeah.
So I feel like there could be, like, we could pick up a sequel right where we left off. You know,
yeah, you're right. The guy is
much.
busy putting Steve on ice.
Yeah, so we have no idea. They may not even be able to get away at this point. We kind of like end it a little bit too soon. But again, I don't know if those men on in the box, you know, at the very end, the end credits scene, if that was like Noah's imagination of these people or if it really was them. I don't know, but I wondered if there wasn't something about the fact that what looked like was on the table was another one of those like breast meats. This is probably a wild thought, but just stick with me here.
I'm here.
Because there was like the breast meat and then the blood coming out from underneath it. Like, and I wondered if that was just something about like these men like sucking on the teat of women.
Oh, I like this.
Like in some metaphorical way. I don't know. That's wild, but I thought maybe. But that is basically what's happening, right? Is they're kind of like using up and consuming.
I like where you're going with this because almost like a nursing.
Right. I don't know. Random thought. Haven't explored it.
I am curious though about you thinking that all of this came from her mind, because I thought that the men they're first shown where we first learn that Steve is harvesting like live livestock, human livestock, to the highest upper echelon rich people. And so then he's, you know, singing and dancing and packaging up the little things with their picture and their bras and all this stuff. And then it's being delivered and you see who it's being delivered to. That seemed all like real people versus coming from her mind.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but it seemed like that to me. Yeah. But I might have missed something too, because I haven't seen it 3 times. I've only seen it twice.
I mean, you're right. I think that is the first time that we see them. So it could be.
At the end, I liked how when they were eating the meat, and I was like, what does this mean? They were eating the meat. And when she opened her mouth really wide, again, fucking amazing cinematography. She opened her mouth really wide and that's all she had to do. And you knew what she was going to do. She was going to bite his penis off. And I fucking love it. Just like I mentioned in another episode, I'm not going to say because I'm not going to like ruin it for you, but I would be biting fucking shit off of people if I was trying to defend. She opened her mouth and you're like, yes, she's gonna do it. Yes, fucking yeah. And so, sorry, but I'll remember that.
No, it is exactly like that.
Right? But they're eating the meat and like one of the guy, they show like him eating and it's like a lion going, it's like animalistic. I don't have an answer, but I was like, oh, what are they saying about this? Like, we're all just animals. Like, we're all just meat. Like, is there a theme about us Is the director a vegan? Like, is there something about this is no different than how we treat animals? Like, so much.
Yeah, there is a lot. And I wondered also, just while we're talking about like random themes, they talk about like not pretending. He's like, oh, you said that you didn't want to pretend and whatever, but she is pretending. But he is pretending too. And even in the end, when he doesn't have to pretend anymore about eating meat and what he's going to do to her, he still has to pretend about having Molly locked up. Right. And so I feel like there's something there about like just being like not honest and forthcoming about yourself. I like, and how that goes along with dating. Like, I felt like there were some themes there. I just don't know exactly what all of that, or if that was, I don't think that was like the focus of the movie by any means, but it was just something interesting that I picked up on.
I love that. Yes, I absolutely agree. And I pulled up, I was like, let's just get a list of themes for the movie afresh. Definitely cannibalism and consumerism, right? The upper echelon, buying cannibalism, fresh meat, definitely.
Exclusivity.
There's not anything here on this list about eating meat, but that has to be a part of it. There were so many parallels of how we treat animals that we're eating versus how she was just a meat and just like an animal. Meat as a metaphor for women, as we're just treated like a piece of meat. We've heard that before as well. Commentary.
There's also something about this too when he's like, it's a very giving community, or it's a very giving thing. You give yourself to somebody.
You're giving of yourself fully.
And again, I think that speaks to, potentially the like nursing nature, where it's like you give all of what you can, what you have and what you're made of, and
your body, whatever
you
give your body.
Yeah, but you're subservient basically. Now all of what you do is you live to just serve the person eating you. And even like you see that a little bit with Anne. It's like she seems to be just like down to fucking clown for some reason. It's fucking, I don't know. Interesting. Keep going though.
Yeah, no, I really like that. A commentary on dating, of course, but that could even be tied into being a piece of meat, not just women, but men too.
Yeah.
Back and forth with dating. And power is agency, and agency is power. It's interesting. Female camaraderie.
Oh,
that is another one. Yeah. Fresh. This is just, if you Google themes of movie Fresh, Fresh is a social satire in line with the social commentary of the 21st century horror movies. At its core, it's a critique of the modern dating scene, especially the dangers involved in dating for young single women. So I don't think that's all that it's about. So whatever. But I did put in my notes, let me just grab this really quick. I thought it was interesting how they displayed a scene as a woman, and maybe a man too, but as a woman, I'm speaking as a woman, where you typically should be scared, walking down a dark alley alone at night. And you're scared, and this man is coming up. And she even met, oh God, there's so much here, just in this scene. Okay, here we go. It's towards the beginning, everybody. She's walking down the alley at night after that date, and there's a man that comes down the alley. All of us would be scared. He starts to walk faster as she walks faster. She fumbles her keys. She's trying to get into her car. This is all realistic. This would be terrifying. She drops her keys. She turns around. The guy is just a normal guy, and he has a baby. She says to herself, you fucking idiot. No, you're not an idiot. You're absolutely not a fucking idiot. This whole thing was normal. Like, this whole thing, you should be scared. You see that it's not a threat. Oh, thank God it's not a threat. But this is a scary thing. But this is a situation we should be typically scared of, being alone at night in an alley. But really, or even dating online, predators. I had a friend who a predator reached out to her online dating app specifically because she was a single mom.
Ugh.
So that is something to be scared of. She's not a single mom, this character. So, but there's just all sorts of things. But what seems safe? Meeting someone in a natural environment. It naturally comes along in the grocery store, at work. It seems like kismet. This is something that you shouldn't be scared of, right? This is something that happened naturally, that wasn't forced, and that is absolutely something she should be scared of. So anyways, I went on and on and on, but I thought that parallel of when you should be scared, she didn't need to be scared. And when she thought she didn't need to be scared, she should have been scared.
The same thing, happens though with Steve too, right? She seems to be like a little bit on guard, at least in the beginning, right? She's not scared, but she's got her defenses
should be on
up.
Guard, absolutely,
right?
Yes.
But then she lets her guard down, and there really was something to be scared of from him, So,
and honestly, I don't think he gave her any reason to be scared. I personally, the fact that he wasn't on social media, I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's a refreshing thing. I think that I know several people who refuse to be on social media. And I know my husband is just on Facebook for some groups for things he's interested in. But other than that, he doesn't even know what Instagram is. I don't think that this is a bad thing to not be so sucked into social media.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even know if not having an online presence is bad, depending. Now, if you were a plastic surgeon, you should have an online presence, but that's not really focused on, right? Because she doesn't give her friend the name of him, his full name. Now, if you were to research his full name and you're a plastic surgeon and you don't have any online presence, that's weird. But just a man or a woman, a person who doesn't want to be on social media, it's not necessarily a red flag to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So I get it. Now, using a photo that is used on a website to publicize like an area, I would be fucking freaking out, Tawny. I got your back. Tawny, I have your back. Me and Jade would be finding your ass.
I agree. I think that's true, and it's true the other way around too. Like, if some weird shit was happening, everybody in your life, including myself, would be like, no, this is fucking weird. Something is going on here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone would know this is weird for Felicia. There's just absolutely no way. I get in an Uber, and the Uber has the cool little thing where it says share it with a friend. I share it with Steve every time I get an Uber, even if I'm just going to the airport.
Yeah, dude, I call Steve. Not Steve.
Call
not
him.
Steve.
We got your back.
Not Steve, your husband, or the guy in this movie. I call and text Jade no matter what I'm doing. Like, when I leave, when I arrive somewhere, it is a nonstop fucking text conversation of what I'm doing and where I am, just so that he knows. Because
you got to do it.
Yeah. If I ever go missing, you got to be able to establish a fucking timeline. We all know this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not sponsored by them, but I'm just going to let you then. Life360 app, and I'm going to tag them because we are big fans in this family. We all have it, and I am a mother of teens, and they love this app because they know they're safe because I know where they are, and they know where I am, and it tracks where you go. I'm a good parent, though, in the sense that I don't, believe it or not, with all the true crime I watch, I do not hyper parent. What's really nice is, say one of my teens is out and I'm going to bed. I'll look at the app. I'll see, they're at a friend's house, or, they're at IHOP. They're not out in the fucking desert.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then I can go to bed and feel kind of safe. So anyways, we have all why am I going into this? You said something about tracking. I've had a lot of whiskey.
You got to establish a timeline. You got to keep track of your loved ones.
You got to yes. This is not a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
You got to be safe.
Just be safe. Track the timeline.
Track your friends. Track your loved ones.
You got to track them. This is a good thing. Yes.
Yeah. Until it's used against you.
But see, that's the thing, though. Yeah. That's the thing. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Don't like hyper parent. Let your kid be a kid and just use it if they're like all of the sudden they're supposed to be at a friend's house and they're in the middle of a forest. Let's fucking go take a look. Let's go take a look.
I'm going to be calling you. Hey.
Let's give a little text over.
Are you camping?
Let's just make sure. Did you decide to camp tonight with your friends? Or is it like Dazed and Confused where you all go to a forest and have like a keg party? Just let me know, okay? I'm cool.
I'm cool. You're not in trouble. Just let me know.
Just like, don't drink and drive and just let me know. Exactly. Let your kids be kids, but track them. But I'm tracked as well. Everyone can track me as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember what we were talking about, Tawny, but this is important information.
The dangers of dating.
The dangers of dating. Oh, but thank you. I just want to say one more thing. That I loved how very gently, it wasn't over the top, they were driving and he said, okay, surprise, we're going to Cottonwood. She immediately texted her friend, going to Cottonwood.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, oh, I don't have service. It wasn't a big deal. It was so realistic. That's what I would do. That's what everyone should do. You should let people know where you are.
Yeah.
So fucking good. I love that. That's what I was thinking, rolling around in my head.
I fucking knew. I knew you were going to love this movie for this true crime angle. Yes. Like, I was like, Felicia is going to dig this because of how, like, realistically scary it is. Like, being kidnapped and sold, basically. It's, reminiscent for me of Hostel. Like, I just, love it.
So good. I just want to say one more thing. Yeah. When she's in his house, so one of the things that you should do is if someone's making you a drink, or if you're at a bar, if someone goes, let me buy you a drink, you need to know who made the drink and nothing was dropped into it, right? In someone's house, I absolutely would have been like Noah, walking around the house, looking at the art while he made a drink in the corner, right? You wouldn't think. You just...
Yeah.
And how he was like, oh, hey, we're going to spend the night at my house and then go to the location because he's a fucking plastic surgeon. Maybe something came up. Absolutely all believable. I would have been fucking his victim. 100%.
Yeah. 100%. I would have gotten got too. Like,
I would have gotten got.
Yeah. So good. So smooth.
So smooth. Woo! There wasn't a lot of trivia.
I didn't think so. I mean, it's newer, but I was like, it's at least been out for a year, so maybe there was something, but...
I can tell you this. It's more movie-related things. For example, when Noah and Steve... I thought this was cool. I thought you would like this because you're really into sound and music and all that. When Noah and Steve are having dinner about 75 minutes into the movie, the song playing in the background is a cover of the Radiohead song Exit Music for a Film, performed by Vitamin String Quartet. And they also play this song, Radiohead, at the end. Also, Jojo T. Gibbs, so our Molly, our best friend, broke the top of her heel bone in a take with Sebastian Stan after she jumped and landed on the floor while she was chained to it. The scene was in the first cut of the movie, but was later dismissed. So there was a scene where she lunges for him when she's chained to the wall, and God, that probably hurt real bad. Jeez. Ouch. I hope they filmed that towards the end.
That did make me remember, though. I love where the fucking credits come in on this movie. Like, we don't get hit with that. The title and the credits, opening credits, until 20 minutes into the movie after she gets drugged and she passes out, and then he gets up and that's when we go. And Jade loved it, and I was like, yes, this is so good because it's like this is where the movie starts. You know? Oh, brilliant.
I literally, Mimi Cave, I'm going to fucking tag you in everything because this was beautiful. The cinematographer as well. Let me see. Cinematographer, and I apologize if I mispronounced your name, Powell Pogorzelski. I did do that wrong. Pogorzelski, whatever. Fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic. So beautiful. I'm going to tag you in everything. Please, 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 please make more movies. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, I did like the camera work a lot. I feel like it was really good. It wasn't like super over the top where it took you out of the movie, but it was, I feel like there's a lot to examine there.
Yeah, even when she was upside down, when she was in her room and it came right side up, or when she was eating and it came from under the plate, and like just all of these different things. I just like, oh my God, this is so really, really good. The only other note I have again was movie related. Penny tells Noah, I hope he fucking chokes, referring to Steve. When Noah and Steve have dinner together for the first time, the song we hear is an instrumental version of Exit Music for a film by Radiohead, whose closing lines in the original vocal version are, we hope that you choke, repeated 3 times.
Oh, okay.
So just like little tidbits, nothing crazy. Just that's all I got there.
Little Easter eggs.
Little Easter eggs. All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's it for me.
Hey, everybody. We really like this movie, but let's find out how much we liked this movie. Tawny, what do you rate this movie?
Okay, there's been much discussion that we've cut out of this episode. We're both having a whole crisis about what we've rated basically everything because of this movie.
I think let's restart all of Two Chicks and a Horror Flick with episode 1. Next episode, new rating system.
I think I'm going to land at like a 4. I went up a little bit. I thought I was going to give it like a 3.95. And so I went up a little bit because through our conversation, I was like, God, this movie is so good. And after our discussion, I'm like, why haven't I rated it higher? Only because the other movies I've rated higher, I like more. Because there are a couple things like we talked about in this movie that I think it suffers from a little bit. And it is also a horror comedy, kind of. Like, it's like a dark comedy, which isn't always my fave. But God, this is a great movie. But I feel like I might have rated that too low. And later, I'm going to have heartburn about it forever. And then I'm going to change my score later, maybe. But that's just what I've decided to stick with for now. Felicia, what are you going to rate this movie?
I feel like I'm off my rocker right now. I was going to rate it a 5 and then was like, because of the issues, I'm rating it a 4.9.
Ooh, okay.
I know. It's only, I know 0.9 points more than yours, but I felt like, oh shit, maybe this is too high. But I felt the only issue I personally had with it was Penny, voiceover Penny. Not acting Penny, but voiceover. Other than that, I thought it was excellent. And it's really hard because when I look at The Witch, which I rated a 4.9, which is something I should probably rewatch and do a little mini recap because I fucking talk about I have her up in this thing you can't see. I love that movie and I rated it a 4.9. So when I think of it, but you can't. They're so different. This horror comedy versus that. Yeah, I have it at a 4.9. I think that it was just a fucking excellent movie.
That's a great and reasonable score. And at some point I am going to have to I'm going to have to do some soul searching and I'm going to have to figure out what the fuck is the difference between a 4 and a 5. I don't know right now. So
it's stressful, you guys. Just if you're starting a podcast, just know the rating system is so stressful. Every year I look back, I'm like, okay, 2022, I must have been really settled into my groove of grading. No, I wasn't. 2023, whole new ball game.
Yeah.
So stressful. Oh my God. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We would love to hear from you. What did you think about Fresh? What did you think about all the stuff we talked about? What are your takes? Maybe it'll influence our scores.
Yeah,
you never know.
Rating. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know. Before I get into our next episode, we want to invite you, you are cordially invited to our birthday. In case you are new to the podcast, me and Tawny, we are Kismet sisters. I was born on January 30th. And Tawny, when's your birthday?
January 31st.
What? Crazy. So every January, we pretty much do a selfish thing and watch whatever we want. And we don't care what anyone thinks. And hopefully you like the movies we watch as well, because we really do care what you think. So we are having a birthday party. It is going to be on January 29th at 2 p.m. Mountain Time to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Right,
Yes.
Tawny? I'm saying it very slowly.
Which would also be 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Time zones get confusing because there's 2 different types of Mountain Time. So that's why I just wanted to throw that in there.
And we have beautiful, wonderful, fabulous listeners who are in England and Ireland and like all over Europe. And last year, it was kind of late. And so we tried to bring it up earlier so that we could have more of you join. So how you're going to do it is you're going to go to the link in our bio at Instagram at 2 Chicks and a Horror Flick. And there's going to be a link for our birthday Discord. It's all via Discord. So show up in your PJs, in your bra and panties, in your suit, whatever you want, because we won't see you. See, I'm not being perverted. You are like, maybe Felicia's being perverted. I'm not, because we're not going to see you. It's all in Discord, and we have a lot of fun stuff going on.
Yes, we're super excited for that. Last year it was so fun. This year we have something a little different. We're going to do a little bit of the same. We think we're going to do a quiz. We're also going to do a bracket, like an activity together, so that we can all figure out who should win our bracket. So stay tuned. We'll have more information on our social media, and you can also jump in the Discord, ask us any questions that you want. So
we look forward to seeing you for our birthdays. Next episode. So for February, we are going to theme it. If you know me and Tawny, we try to theme. We theme a month, then it all goes to shit.
Then we decide not to for 6 months.
Yes. However, since last year, we have wanted to theme February. We have wanted to do romantic horror, and we've been waiting for this, and we're so excited. So we have a whole month of February planned for you, but our next episode is going to be warm bodies. Remember, our birthday party is on January 29th from 2 to 5 Mountain Time. And if you like us, we hope you do, follow us on Instagram at 2 Chicks and a Horror Flick, or search for us on your favorite social media platform. We will be there. What else, Tawny?
You can support the show by giving us a like, review, and subscribe on whatever podcatcher you're listening to us on. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week, and we hope you have such a good night. No nightmares. And so now we should just record a quick thing for the beginning.
We just fucking talked about that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No worries. The only thing that's weird, but I don't think it's the end of the world, is we get to the end of the episode and we're like, we want to invite you. But we don't mention that we said something about it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should we just not do this?
I'm happy to pop it in there. Because then I can use it also. Maybe we do it so we can use it also as a social media thing. Like almost like a separate thing. So I could pop it in, but I could also use it as just a clip.
Okay.
So like, hey, everybody, we want to invite you. That I could pop in as well and use it as a clip.
Okay. And we also, I think, have to think about like where we're going to put it in the very beginning. So I think you were like we opened up with, hey, everybody, we're back.
Maybe I could do, because I don't know. Obviously, I can't change it.
I think you were like, before we get into all that, what are you drinking?
Yeah. Like, so maybe I can piece it in there somewhere. Yeah. So maybe we do, hey, everybody, it's so good to see you. And then I could put it in, or should we say like, before we get into things, but I'd say that when we say, what are you drinking? Maybe it's just something simple like, hey, we want to invite you, or not even, hey, we want to invite you to blah, blah, blah. And then I could piece that anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
Or we could say like, real quick, we want to invite you to blah, blah, blah. I feel like that helps kind of piece it in somewhere, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I like that. You say, you start that real quick.
Okay.
I like how you said real quick. That'll be good.
Okay. Real quick, I just want to say, no, I'll back that up. Real quick, we want to invite you to our Discord birthday party, which we're going to have on January 29th. That's a Sunday. And that is going to be from starting at 2 p.m., probably like 2 to 5-ish Mountain Time. So that would be 4 Eastern Time. Time zones are hard and weird. But we are so excited. We did this last year and it was really a blast. You can just show up and like chat in our chat group. Like we don't do like a Zoom or a voice channel or anything like that. But we will have fun activities that you can join us, and we might be giving away some prizes. So it's going to be super fun, super dope, and we would love if you join us.
Yes. You could be at church and then come into our party. You could be making dinner. Just have your phone, have your AirPods in, join our Discord, and be like, tick, 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 tick. And your significant other, or whoever you live with, will be like, what are you doing? Nothing. And just like be a part of it. It's so much fun. Show up however you want to show up. Makeup, no makeup, pajamas, your best 3-piece suit, whatever it is. We're not going to see you. So just pop in and out. If you want to pop in, pop out, pop back in. It's so much. Well, we had a lot of fun. So I am going to say it's so much fun.
It's going to be super fun. And our UK friends, it's going to be like nighttime, like 9:30 p.m. So you're going to be like probably getting ready for bed. You know, we tried to think about a good time for everybody to include everybody. So it'll be super fun. We're excited to see you there. Let us know if you have any issues like joining Discord or if you don't already have an account or anything like that. And we'll get you set up with it.
Yeah, definitely go to our Instagram at 2 Chicks and a Horror Flick. And at the very top of our link in bio, there will be a link to our birthday Discord party. There will be a link to our birthday Discord. Okay. There will be a link to our birthday Discord party. Fucker. Okay. There will be a link to our birthday disco. Fucker. Whore. Stop. Speak. Oh, but there's a video too. Okay. There will be a link to our birthday Discord party.
That was great, but I just didn't know how to like get out of it, you know?
It's done. I don't know. Maybe we'll move into the next part of the thing. Oh, maybe we say, okay, hold on. There will be a link to our birthday Discord party. So we hope to see you there.